I'm definitely honored to be in that situation and a position to share the ring with another great. You know, it's going to be a hell of a night come September 13th. No, it definitely don't matter. You know, the odds can't fight for him, so, you know, it is what it is.
Terence Crawford has just issued a warning to Canelo Alvarez ahead of their upcoming clash on September 13th. On the other hand, Virgil Ortiz said he doesn't think Terence Crawford can beat Canelo Alvarez due to the size and weight difference, noting that Crawford is jumping 3 weight classes to face one of boxing's best. While he praised Crawford's intelligence and skill, Ortiz believes Canelo's strength, size, and sharpness give him the edge. He referenced Canelo's check hook against Berlanga as proof he still has elite timing. Ortiz admitted Crawford has a chance, but if he wins, he would become Ortiz's #1 fighter of all time.
I don't think he is, but if he beats Canelo, he'll be like my #1 fighter of all time.
You don't think Crawford beats Canelo?
I don't think so. And look, hear me out. I respect Crawford and everything that he's doing, but he just moved up from 147, so I'm just gonna treat him as a 147 pounder. He's jumping up 3 weight classes to fight someone who was like the #1 fighter in all of boxing. You know, the jump would be hard, even if it was just like some top 10.
Right, yeah.
You know,
Bud, would you say he's a very smart fighter?
yes.
Very calculated,
Yes.
right? Don't you think that maybe he sees something that most people aren't seeing?
I think he does, but the thing is he gonna be able to even like to capitalize on it? Because he's a smaller fighter, and look, I think people are thinking at the aspect of, can Crawford do it? Yes, I think he can do it.
Moreover, Showbiz the Adult said there's a reason why Terence Crawford always mentions Ricky Burns, pointing to that fight as important. He explained that even when people thought fighters like Madrimov were too tricky, Crawford just boxed and handled it. Showbiz said Crawford always uses his natural gifts like timing and reflexes to land clean shots, but he often gets hit during exchanges. He reminded viewers that Crawford was dropped by Mean Machine and got rocked by other fighters like Gamboa and caught by Sean Porter. He criticized those who believe Crawford will fight completely differently now, saying he's 38 and still the same fighter. Terence Crawford will always be Terence Crawford.
There's a reason why Crawford always brings up Ricky Burns, because of this.
Burns needs to knock him out of that. Body shot wasn't the best.
On this one, the previous one.
Again there.
That's Crawford, y'all. That's Crawford. That's the same one against Madrimov that y'all said Madrimov was too tricky. He ain't too tricky. Just box. Terence Crawford, even if he starts off boxing, at the end of the day, he uses his natural gifts, his timing, his reflexes, and everything to land great shots on you. And he does it, bam, and he gets hit in the exchange all the time. Got dropped by a Mean Machine doing that. Madrimov was popping, Gamboa rocked him. Sean Porter was catching him because he throws his. And y'all keep saying, well, in this fight, he's going to be totally different. He's 38 years old. That's what he's been. Y'all like Terence Crawford won't be Terence Crawford. No, I'm expecting him to be Terence Crawford.
However, Terence Crawford said he is honored to be in the position to share the ring with another great fighter, referring to Canelo Alvarez, and promised it would be a hell of a night on September 13th.
I'm definitely honored to be in that situation and a position to share the ring with another great. You know, it's going to be a hell of a night come September 13th.
Moreover, when asked if Canelo Alvarez's criticized performance against William Skull gave him more confidence, Terence Crawford responded by pointing out that his own last fight was also criticized, saying both of them need to step it up. When pressed about bringing an aggressive, explosive version of himself to the ring, Crawford simply said that's why people need to watch the fight. He closed with a message to Canelo: "See you soon."
People criticised his performance against William Skull. Did you take more confidence from that fight?
A lot of people criticized my last performance, so, you know what I mean? We both need to step it up, I guess.
That's one from me, Terence. Obviously, we've seen Turkey Al-Sheikh mention no Tom and Jerry fights. You've said yourself you're going to put it on him, you're going to come for him. Do we see an explosive Terence Crawford that people won't have been expecting to see?
That's why you got to watch the fight so you can see.
I'll get a message to Canelo.
See you soon.
Furthermore, Brian Norman Sr. firmly chose Terence Crawford to defeat Canelo Alvarez, stating he has learned not to bet against Crawford after previously losing money doing so. He now considers himself a believer, describing Crawford as an exceptionally skilled and intelligent fighter. After observing Crawford up close, Norman referred to him as a dangerous presence in the ring with the type of boxing intelligence that helps him find ways to win. He rejected the notion that Crawford overcoming Canelo is unrealistic, maintaining it is entirely achievable based on Crawford's skill set.
I got Crawford. I'm sorry. I'm about to say Canelo. Where'd that come from? I got Crawford, man. I learned to not bet against Crawford. I won't bet against Crawford again. I lost a lot of money betting against Crawford. So you know, those days of my life are over with. I've drunk the Kool-Aid.
You're a believer now.
I'm a believer now. Yeah. Crawford is that guy, man. Crawford is that guy. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid, and you know, right. I've seen Crawford personally. I've seen him in the ring personally, and I mean, he a bad man. He a bad man. So I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to say, just like with my son, I'm gonna have to say, just with the boxing IQ, with it's certain things, man. It's certain things. I think that Crawford is gonna figure out a way to win. I don't think this is so. I don't think for how some people are looking at this. I don't think it's so far-fetched that Crawford can beat him. I just don't see that so far-fetched as some people trying to make it.
Ryan Garcia said that while great things can happen when two elite fighters face off, he doesn't see Terence Crawford beating Canelo Alvarez. He admitted Crawford could prove him wrong, but believes the size difference will be a major factor. Garcia, who has trained with Canelo, noted that Canelo is strong enough to push back heavyweights and pointed out this is the first time in a while Canelo will be the naturally bigger man. He feels that will allow Canelo to fight more freely and effectively. Although he respects Crawford's skills, Garcia said he would put his money on Canelo.
When you have two great fighters, great things can happen. But I could see even Crawford getting knocked out like Amir Khan style though.
Do you give Terence Crawford any chance to beat Canelo?
I don't see it happening, but he could definitely prove me wrong. But I just think, bro, like, I mean, I've trained with Canelo, I've been around him. Bro can really push back heavyweights. So I don't know how he's like, because this is the first time Canelo's actually bigger than somebody in a long time. So it's like the weights are lifted off and now he could fight even more freely, you know? So I'm actually interested to see, bro. I can't wait for the fight. I'm definitely going to be backing Canelo, but, you know, Crawford is a great fighter and he could surprise me. But right now where I would put my money is Canelo Alvarez.
Coach Bernie showed strong confidence in Terence Crawford, saying he is convinced Crawford will defeat Canelo Alvarez. He stressed that the fight is not about how talented Canelo is, but about how exceptional Crawford is. In his view, Canelo plays a minor role in the narrative, while Crawford is the central figure. Bernie stated that this moment belongs to Crawford, and everything is set up for him to shine.
Well, shout out to Bud Crawford, man. I'm so happy for him. And he gonna beat that boy, man. And like I say, it's not about how it's Canelo. It's about how good Crawford is. That's all this shit is about. It's about Crawford. It's the Crawford. He's just a mere person in the story. You understand? If you write this story, man, he's just a mere person in the story. And then it was this Canelo and this. That's all it is. But Crawford is the main character in the story. This shit was lined up for Crawford. It's about Crawford, man.
He also acknowledged Canelo's previous accomplishments, but said a loss to Crawford would not harm his legacy. Bernie believes Crawford will accomplish what others, including Erislandy Lara, were unable to do. He said Crawford will hold his position, land precise punches, and wear Canelo down. In his opinion, Crawford is simply the superior fighter and is prepared to prove it in the ring.
About Canelo, he done his thing. He you know what I mean? He can't take nothing away from him because he loses to Crawford. Hell no. But you got to give Crawford enough stand because he going to do what Lara didn't do. He going to stand there and bust his ass up. He going to turn him up. Boy, that's what he going to do. He going to shout out to Lara, but I'm just saying, he going to do what them other guys didn't do. He going to f him up, man. He going to fight that motherfucker, man. He going to beat Canelo's ass, man. And it is what it is. Canelo great, Bud just greater. That's it. Ain't no separation about that.
David Morell shared his opinion on the matchup between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, calling it a difficult fight for Crawford and stating that Canelo is too strong. He suggested that Crawford might be taking the fight for financial reasons, but emphasized that the challenge is real. Morell noted Canelo's strength and how tough he is to defeat. In his view, it will be very difficult for Crawford to win or even get past the third round. He gave Canelo a 60-40 advantage in the bout.
I say Crawford, but it's the crazy fight. It's too much. It's too much pound for Crawford. I know he can do it for the money, but it's too much. It's too much pound for Crawford, and Canelo is not easy. Canelo is stronger. It's difficult. It's difficult for Crawford to win the fight or to stay in the 12th round. So, I say 60-40 for Canelo.
Brian Bomac McIntyre, Crawford's head coach, said he feels very sure that Crawford will come out with the win. He also mentioned that he is proud of Crawford and the entire team because this is another big moment where the world gets to witness why many believe Crawford is the top pound-for-pound boxer today.
Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely confident that he's going to get the victory. Second of all, I'm just happy for him and the team. So, the world can see once again why he considered the best pound for pound.
Bomac also stated that there is no pressure on Terence Crawford going into the fight because he always sticks to his own approach. He pointed out that no matter what Canelo or anyone else says, it does not affect Crawford. Bomac made it clear that their training is built around one game plan, and they believe fully in following it to succeed.
I think there's no pressure on Terence because Terence gonna fight the way that he's used to fighting. So by saying all that stuff that Turkey say or anybody else say, that doesn't bother Terence not one bit. We train for one way, the way we're going to fight, and that's the way we're going to get the job.
Finally, Bomac said that fans are going to be shocked when Crawford takes Canelo apart. He explained that as Crawford adjusts more to the heavier weight, he becomes even more dangerous. Bomac believes this comfort at the new weight will be a major advantage in the fight.
Fans are going to be surprised when he dismantled Canelo. The more time goes on, the more time Terence can settle into that weight, the worse is off for the opponent.
Kenny Porter dismissed the idea that Canelo Alvarez would easily defeat Terence Crawford, calling it nonsense. He shared that he has known Crawford since his teenage years and has seen him pass every challenge, from national events to global competitions. Kenny said Crawford has a way of making tough fights look simple and reminded critics that the so-called nobodies he beat were actually champions at the time. He finished by saying he never bets against Crawford and always supports him.
Well, that's total bullshit. That's total bullshit. See, because here's another thing where that's concerned. Bud has been a boxer since I first met him, he was like 12, 13 years old. So Bud has been tested in national tournaments, Olympic trials, Pan Am Games. We were in Venezuela together in the Pan Am Games. He's been tested so many times along the way that when he got to the higher levels in professional boxing, he made it look easy. And a lot of times, the guys that he made it look easy against, those are probably the guys that Canelo are saying, oh, that's nobody, it's nobody. Nah, dude, that's who they put in front of me. That's who the champion was at the time, and I beat him. And just like Bud said, everybody that they put in front of him, he has beat him. I never bet against Bud.
Kenny.
I got Bud. Kenny, I never bet against him.
Kenny also spoke about how neither Canelo nor Crawford feels pressure because both are built to handle it. He recalled how Canelo faced Floyd Mayweather at just 21 or 22, showing his mental toughness. When talking about Crawford, Kenny described him as calm and confident, with no sign of nerves. He believes both fighters are mentally sharp and fully ready for the spotlight.
I don't think either one of these guys feel pressure. These are the guys that are built for pressure. So, Canelo stepped up against Floyd when he was, 21, 22 years old. He was a kid. Nah, there's no pressure for Canelo, right? And as far as Bud, he cool as the other side of the pillow, man. You know, he just, no, I know that personally. I know that personally. This dude is, you know, he's ice cold. Ain't nothing but, you know, ice cold running through his veins. And so there's no pressure. And then on the other side of it, as far as, you know, who's the guy that's better prepared for this? You know, each fight is different.
Finally, Kenny said this fight is unique because neither man has faced someone quite like the other. He expects the early rounds to be cautious, while both figure each other out. Though Canelo has the size advantage and experience fighting at heavier weights, Kenny believes Crawford's ability to adapt will help him win. He called Crawford's skill to adjust during a fight something special that sets him apart.
Neither one of them has fought anyone like the other. This is the first time for either. So there's going to be a little fill out going on. And then I also expect that Canelo thinks, as he should, as if I was training Canelo, I should as well. I would feel the same way. He's got a size advantage, right? Even if Bud comes in at, you know, the same weight, the size advantage goes to the man who's been comfortably fighting there for a long period of time, you know, for a longer period of time. Give me a second, bro. You know what I mean? So, yeah, there's that as well, but I think Bud overcomes that. You know, he usually, with anyone he's in there with, he usually figures them out. He's got this little thing in his brain that figures out everybody's in there with.
Manny Pacquiao said the fight between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford is a great matchup, but he believes Canelo holds the advantage because Crawford is moving up in weight. He advised Crawford to focus on preserving and improving his speed and strength, noting how difficult it is to move to a higher weight class while maintaining quickness. Pacquiao stressed that speed is the key and encouraged Crawford to concentrate on his footwork, sharpness, and increasing his power.
Good fight. Good fight. Canelo has advantage because Crawford moving up, but my advice to Crawford is like maintain the speed, improve the speed, and improve the strength. Because it's hard to go up in higher weight and maintain your speed. So speed is the key. Like he should focus on speed, footwork, and improve.
Furthermore, Kermel Moton added that boxing fans would be treated to an amazing show at the forthcoming bout. He underlined that the battle is evenly matched and that each boxer has an equal chance of winning. Moton also thinks the competition will be very competitive and unpredictable, which will make it much more thrilling to watch.
It's a big jump for sure, but you know, I feel like Crawford definitely has a great chance. You know, I feel like it's a 50-50 fight. You know, I really don't know who will come out on top of that one. I just feel like the better man that night will win, so you know, I feel like the fans are the winners in that one.
Keith Thurman said that Canelo will fight like himself, as always, but the real question is how Crawford handles moving up in weight. He pointed out that Crawford's success depends on his training, preparation, and ability to stay quick and agile. Thurman stressed that Crawford needs to use smart tactics like jabbing, feints, and angles. He referenced how Charlo adjusted after being knocked down, using movement and defense to limit Canelo's power. While smart defense may not guarantee a win, it could help Crawford survive and follow the boxing rule of hitting without getting hit.
You know, Canelo is really, you know, Canelo's gonna be Canelo, man. He's really, I think all the variables lie on Crawford. You know,
Absolutely.
Crawford is confident, but Crawford is outside of his zone. You know, it's all about the training camp, the preparation, you know, the extra weight, but still being agile, you know. I believe that it's tactics and game plan. I hope he works behind that jab. I hope he works behind the feint, and I hope he uses small little angles and different things, almost like when Charlo got dropped, right? After he got dropped, he never got dropped again. And because he never got dropped again, there's evidence that a nice mover, keeping your hands up, you actually can not get hurt by Canelo. Now, that was not the keys to victory because that was the keys of survival. But survival and tactics of not getting hit, the game of boxing is hit and not get hit.
Absolutely.
So to have the defense to use the leg
Abel Sanchez praised both Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez as smart and skilled fighters, but leaned toward Canelo because of his size and defensive skill. He said Canelo has taken big punches from strong opponents like Gennady Golovkin, Dmitry Bivol, and Sergey Kovalev without showing signs of fading, which proves he can absorb power well. Sanchez pointed out that Crawford tends to get hit more, even at 154 pounds, and said that no matter how good Crawford looks or how much weight he adds, facing someone with Canelo's strength and size is a completely different challenge.
Okay, well, first of all, Terence Crawford is a great fighter, but so is Canelo. I think that, in my opinion, their IQ is similar, except Canelo doesn't get hit like Crawford gets hit. In my opinion, Canelo's a bigger man. Not that he started out as a bigger man, but he's now a bigger man. He has been hit by not only Gennady, who's one of the biggest punchers that I've ever coached and I've ever seen, but he's also been hit by Bivol, by Kovalev, who's a big puncher. You know, he's been hit by big guys. Crawford had a hard time with a 154-pounder who hit him often. So I think that no matter how much weight he puts on, no matter how smart he thinks he is or how big he thinks he is, he's going to be getting hit by a truck.
Sanchez added that Crawford might do well in the early rounds, using his quickness and timing to win a few rounds at the start. Still, as the fight moves forward, he expects Canelo's strength and experience to take over. Around the 6th or 7th round, Sanchez believes Canelo will settle in, start landing clean shots, and fight with more control. While Canelo does not move his feet as much, Sanchez praised his upper body movement, head control, and defensive awareness along with his powerful punches. He thinks Canelo will either stop Crawford late or win clearly on the scorecards, and said Crawford's team must be ready to step in if the fight turns too one-sided.
And I think that at the beginning, just like it was with Kell Brook and Gennady, at the beginning the speed and the talent will show in the fight. I think Canelo will lose 3 or 4 rounds at the beginning, but then once he starts pounding on him, as it's been for the last 6-7 fights of Canelo, after the 6th or 7th round, it's a sparring session for him. You know, he just throwing bombs away and not caring about what they do to him. But he's got excellent defense. Unfortunately, his feet don't move as well as I would like for him to move them, but his upper body is just unbelievable. He slips punches very well. He's got great hands. He parries very well, and he lands big shots. He may not land as many, but he lands big shots that hurt. So I think Canelo stops him, or wide decision at the end, and corner must think about Crawford's safety and health.
That's it for today's video. So what are your thoughts on this? What do you think about Canelo versus Crawford upcoming clash? We would love to hear your thoughts on this. So share your thoughts in the comment section, and make sure to subscribe and like if you enjoyed the video. Also check out our other videos on the screen right now.